This is your brother, Indescribable 1981, once again. You know, when you think about energy and you think about your body and you think about what can come in and what can come out, I know a lot of people used to go to nightclubs back in the day and they would only have one way in, one way out. No back door, no side door, nothing. Just one way in, one way out. And that's a danger in a way because if you're on one side and it's a crowd, it's going to be a lot trying to squeeze that crowd through one little doorway when everybody panicking. Just like you about to bust your brain when you drank a milkshake from Wendy's or McDonald's back in the day through the straw, and the straw is like just tiny and the milkshake is thick, and you about to bust a vein just trying to pull it through the damn straw. So what I'm saying is energy have to have some type of space to go somewhere. That's why when people do wrong or they do witchcraft or spells and voodoo, it may not hit the person that they're doing it towards, especially if they're good heart. But it got to bounce and go somewhere where it can resonate and match the energy that was sent out from the person that did it with the evil intentions. Just like when we have a toothache, we have an abscess in our tooth. And then it gets to be so big and it starts to grow and it starts to trickle on over to maybe another tooth. And then you got a second opening or an abscess. So it's like no matter how energy is, it got to be expressed somehow. So the reason I do these YouTube videos, also another reason I forgot to mention, is because there's a lot of energy and intelligence that Holy Spirit gives us that we must express in order to help the evolution of other beings. I may have something special that I'm being used by the Creator as a messenger for to give someone a warning, and it may not be what they expected. They might have expected the warning to come from an older person, not a child or someone younger than them. You know what I mean? But the point is, a warning is a warning. I don't care if somebody's screaming to get your attention, as a man, woman, or child, or animal, somebody who has a pet that's screaming and whining, little dogs or cats. Energy is meant to be expressed and it's meant to be picked up by other beings who are also expressing their energy. This is why we all co-creating together. So everybody on YouTube might be on here for good reasons and bad reasons. Those that are on here for the bad reasons, you can pretty much see where their YouTube channel ends up at. And a lot of them be successful on YouTube. Those who are on YouTube for good reasons, a lot of them are usually overlooked or not paid attention to. But the whole point is, when you step outside of your house, you don't just hear the birds singing. You don't just hear the dogs barking. You don't just hear the cats meowing. You don't just hear the children playing. You hear every type of noise there is when you step outside your door, because this is what life is. It's an expression of noise from living organic vehicles like us and our bodies and trees and stuff like that. And then you also have the inanimate vehicles, stuff like airplanes and helicopters and stuff like that. But I mean, everything out here expressing itself. The wind do it, and the water and the waves. And that's the whole purpose I do this. It got to come out some type of way. That's why I say it's real important to ask for forgiveness and channel your karma in the right way, because people could slang karma at you and it'll bounce back to someone else and they loved one family instead of hitting you because your heart pure. You know, you got to express energy. I don't care what it is. If you don't burp, you're going to fart. If you don't fart, you're going to burp. Sometimes people eat too much and they got pressure on their stomach, and you're waiting for that little burp or that little fart to relieve the pressure. Same thing with energy. If it's too much of an excess of energy where people trying to block stuff out here or trying to stop life or trying to stop information or stop knowledge, it's going to be some little area in life where the pressure going to bust a pipe and the knowledge may still come out in a dream of a little child. You know, somebody going to get this knowledge and somebody going to get this energy that got to be expressed. You can't really block it. Some people try to stop God's will. What they say, let God's will be done, right, on heaven and earth, right? Can you go out there and stop all the waves in that ocean? Can you go on the highway and stop all that traffic riding, the trucks and all that? It's impossible. That's a lot. That's almost like the divine will. It's so big and such a bigger picture of God's movement that I don't care who come at it. You could get all your warlocks, your witches, you could get all your highest top priests or whatever, and be just like Elijah in the Bible. Them 400 priests screaming, crying, hollering. Oh, it's strength in numbers, all right. It's strength in numbers of a bunch of weak ass vessels, 400 priests that weak ass Jezebel used to come up against one vessel of the Most High, Eliyahu. And Elijah called down fire on all 400 prophets and everything that was there, and the sacrifice, everything got burnt up. So energy, vibrations, frequencies, they must be expressed somehow, some way. This is why we have platforms, YouTube and social media. These are other avenues for things to be expressed, if not in physical, electronically. If not here in person, then in a dream world. If not from information or other sources, then, hey, just be in a meditation state and allowing stuff to come to you. So once again, it's good to express life and live life how you feel. You should express it and live it. And never be afraid to express yourself, even if you got to talk to yourself and walk about your day, because nobody in the world is on your level and can't have the conversations you have. So you go talk to yourself, or you go pour out that energy that you know on YouTube. You have to express it and become some example of the creator in the world, where if nobody, not even my loved ones, want to accept the message that the Holy Spirit is using me to give to them, then it must be accepted somehow, some way. I thought it was a funny and interesting thing when I used to read things about Tupac. You know, everybody knows Tupac, the rapper. But Tupac, one thing I liked about him was he was born the same day as my grandmother. And my grandmother did the same thing when we were growing up in the projects in the hood, you know, low income homes. He was doing the same thing that my grandmother was doing to a lot of the children in the neighborhood. And my auntie, I got an auntie on my father's side, and I got my grandmother, which is my mother's mother. They were the type of people that they would feed strangers. They would feed runaway children, runaway teenagers in the neighborhood or whatever. And my grandma would comfort them and feed them just like they were any of her own grandchildren. And, you know, she always made a space for a stranger in her heart. Just like the Good Samaritan in the Bible was a person that made space in their heart to have compassion for even somebody beat upside the road, making space for that. And I was like, wow, some type of way, the Creator is going to bring someone on this earth to be a perfect expression every now and then, and we have it, to know that the Creator is real. You have to know the Most High Goddess, eternal creators are real. And you have to know that they're real based on the nature, the character, and the behavior that you see when someone says that they're divine, or they're from the spiritual worlds, or they're from the heavens. You would see that through their actions, how they move, and the things that happen around their presence. So the energy had to go somewhere, what Elijah was doing. It had to go somewhere. It had to go somewhere. And when we're in life doing what we're doing, sometimes it's good to know when to speak and know when not to speak, because you can overdo it either way. And it's just always good to just be flexible and allow things to happen in life mysteriously. Because the spontaneous and mysterious things that happen in life, it's not something somebody controlled or planned or something that somebody plotted on. It just happened out the blue like a divine miracle, you know, out of nowhere, out of spirit. out of the unseen, and it's just a beautiful thing. You know what I mean? So I really value y'all in the comment section, and I really value the divine that's inside of y'all who leave comments in the comment section. Just know I cherish y'all comments. I feel everything y'all comment to me and text and send to me, as far as commentary. And I can kind of feel if it's a man or a woman when I'm looking at these comments. And I realize there's somebody out there for everybody. Even if there's a messenger who has a message that nobody's listening to, there's somebody in existence or in this cosmos or in this galaxy or in this universe that needs to specifically hear your message. If your loved ones don't want to hear the message as a messenger, if your relatives or family don't want to hear the message as a messenger, there may be a stranger coming from another side of the globe that's looking for a specific message that you have to bring. And once they hear that message, they can go on about their life and go ahead and co-create with the creator like nothing ever happened. Why? Because everybody out here have something unique about them and complete the puzzle of someone else that is uniquely searching for something that's totally different. Because I look at life this way too. Things are brought into manifestation into this existence. Not only because the creator wanted to bring these things into existence. A lot of things are brought into existence because once you bring a child here into this world and the child becomes grown and an adult, now that child can bring their own particular thought forms or children or whatever into existence. And then you go to look at your child and be like, you know what? The inherent nature in all existence is love, because and curiosity and expansion. You see a child, see other children playing. They don't know those children are black or those children are white or European or Russian. They just see other children playing, and they're curious and want to go over there and join the party and go play themselves. We look at this universe and look at this world that was created by the Elohim. Not only did Elohim create planetary systems and bodies and our bodies that we're walking and existing in for us to enjoy and experience this, but Elohim also created other angels and other angelic higher beings that can do things themselves to continue to expand more life and evolve the whole entire universe as it's doing right now. We seeing things happening in creation over and over again. Brand new things even happening now in 2024 that probably are never happening for a long time, because when you're dealing with the creators and you're dealing with eternity and immortality of this existence, you're dealing with something that doesn't have to move fast. It can move slow as it wants to move because it's eternal. It has all the time and all the life substance in this realms, in any realm, to create new worlds, shrink, contract, and destroy old worlds and transform the old worlds into even more new worlds. And this is what a lot of us are doing constantly, even when we wake up. We may not want to wear the same clothing every day. We want to create a new world, a new atmosphere, put on a different color. So life is about expression and the variety and the multidimensionality that just make it so fun and not boring, that you can live forever and never be bored and never, do things the same exact way. So I give thanks to the Most High, Mother, Father, Ether creators, and Mama Holy Spirit Comforter, that spirit of truth that we all serve, no matter who we are, what we are, or where we are. We all serve the spirit of truth, which contains all opposites, but it all function together like it's one whole unit. Got different body parts that do different things, but whenever you walk back, forward, or side to side, every body part moving with you, because your body is one whole unit, even though it's different parts. We are children, divine children of the Most Highs, in this big old ocean we call spirit that we walk around and move in. Yet at the same time, It's short, tall, big, small, fat, skinny. You know what I mean? Everything is experienced in all type of elemental bodies. And this is what it's about. Can't call it, can't label it, but it's continuously indescribable.